With all of the organic and natural options at the grocery store these days, you probably assume you know what's going in your cart. But guess what? It's pretty much a guarantee that something you're buying isn't what you think it is. It could be anything from passing off cheap fish as a more expensive type to diluting items. And pay attention because some of these sneaky substitutions could make you seriously sick. Here are 11 things you're eating that are probably fake. Number 1. Coffee. Most of us start our morning with a refreshing cup of coffee, and even though some companies will put labels like 100% pure coffee on their containers, a lot of these companies don't just sell coffee in these containers. Well, what exactly is in the coffee? Coffee is often ground, and grounding means mixing it with other fillers to make the price of manufacturing it cheaper, because the company doesn't have to use as much of actual coffee beans. Some companies grind coffee and mix it with roasted corn, ground roasted barley, and even roasted animal skins. So next time you buy a cup of coffee, just know you're drinking this stuff, and the only reason is so that companies don't have to use as much coffee in the production process, which can save them millions of dollars every year. Number 2. Maple syrup. Next time you reach for maple syrup, take a closer look at the packaging. There's a reason that most nationally recognized brands of pancake syrup don't mention maple on their label and instead say original syrup. It's because there's nothing maple about these syrups. These are basically artificially flavored high fructose corn syrup. Number 3. Extra virgin olive oil. Most bottles of extra virgin olive oil are fakes. And this is a big problem because they're often stripped of the good stuff and replaced with dangerous substitutions. Extra virgin olive oil is one of the most pervasive fake foods in America, reaching deep into homes, restaurants, and supermarkets, and not unfamiliar to the government agencies supposedly watching over our food supply. Instead of using the pure stuff, loaded with healthy fats, they're often diluted with cheaper oils like peanut and soybean, which is super problematic because both can cause severe allergic reactions. Number 4. Sushi. This cold Japanese food is loved by many all around the world, and the most popular piece of sushi is the tuna roll. But in a test carried out in 2016, where thousands of sushi restaurants in the US were tested, it was found that 84% of them served fake fish. The white tuna in tuna rolls was always a completely different animal. What you're really eating is probably something called escolar, which is very cheap, and it's also known as lax fish, and that's because it can be used as a laxative and can give people diarrhea. Number 5. Parmesan cheese. Real Parmesan cheese is a pricey delicacy from Parma, Italy. So what is most of the stuff we see labeled as Parmesan? A 2016 FDA study found that products marked in the US as 100% Parmesan are often cut with cheaper cheese or even wood pulp. We suggest looking for a Made in Italy stamp if you're looking for the real deal. Number 6. Tea. You already know that coffee manufacturers put weird things into their products to make it seem like coffee. Well, it turns out that tea manufacturers do the exact same thing, but what they put in tea is even worse. A report to US Congress in 2014 found that manufacturers added sawdust and leaves from other plants into their teas. But the reason for this isn't the same as the coffee manufacturers. Instead of not having to use more of the product like with coffee, the reason that tea manufacturers do this is to make teas last longer, increasing the tea's shelf life. Number 7. Kobe beef. If you've ever treated yourself to these pricey sliders or steaks, you were probably duped. The import of Japanese beef was banned for a long time, and though it's been lifted, only 8 restaurants in the US carry it now. So if you recently ate Kobe beef, odds are very high that you ate a fake. Number 8. Rice. You probably already know that China is the world's largest distributor of rice. But did you know that China has factories that make rice of toxic plastic? They create rice grains and then pack them up like regular rice, then ship them out to markets in China. Also, companies outside of China distribute them all over the world. Eating just 2 bowls of this rice would be equal to consuming an entire plastic bag, which is dangerous for your health and terrible for your digestive system. It could even be potentially fatal. The fake rice has been found to be sold in China, Nigeria, Mexico, the United Kingdom, and the United States. Number 9. Imitation crab. Also known as crab stick. Crab is best known for being one of the primary ingredients in a California sushi roll. But there's nothing crabby about it. Crab is actually a mixture of finely ground whitefish and other fillers like wheat, egg white, and transglutaminase, also known as the meat glue. A little artificial crab flavoring and red food dye give it a mildly believable crab look and taste. Number 10. Lobster. So we all know lobster is seen as a luxurious food which is eaten by some of the richest people or by regular Joes on special occasions, and I'm sure most of you are familiar with the many lobster restaurant chains that offer lobster at a discount price. Well, the reason those prices are at discount is because it isn't lobster. The thing those restaurants serve is actually langostino, which is a type of shrimp. Even though it might taste and look like a lobster, it's not the same, and there are differences in looks and flavor. Many supermarkets also sell langostino labeled as lobster. So next time you're in a store or a restaurant, ask the staff if the lobster is real or is it langostino. Number 11. Champagne. Just like lobster, champagne is a luxury beverage that is enjoyed by people who are willing to spend $1 or $2 on this fancy drink. And most people have probably heard that it's illegal to call sparkling wines that aren't from the Champagne region of France champagne. But this is a myth and only applies in France. More than half of wine-labeled champagne sold in the United States isn't real, and there are many producers from places like Long Island and California who market their sparkling white wines as champagne when really it's not from the official French province location, and therefore doesn't have the same soil, sun, or other conditions. So you're paying a lot more just for a name. So now that you know about these fake foods, what are you going to do to make sure you are not eating or drinking any of them? Let us know in the comments section below. We would love to hear from you. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, then hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. Now go ahead and watch any of the other 2 videos on your screen. They too are full of expert and research-backed health tips. So stay healthy, and I will see you in the next one.